It is 7:11 on this beautiful sunny start to your Mother's Day Sunday. 5 degrees in downtown Montreal. 514-790-0800. Send in your messages for Mom. We'll be reading them throughout the show. Time for another edition of Tech Files. And here is joining us once again is our tech journalist, Chris Abel. Chris, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing great.
Okay, we've got lots to talk about. I was on Netflix yesterday and noticing a lot of different changes. Like there's all these like video games that have popped up all over the place, which I didn't know was a thing now. But there is a new Netflix coming, you say?
That's right. They gave me a preview. They're going to introduce an entire new setup. So this is going to be an all-new menu system. That might be good or bad for some people. We'll see. The idea is that all your choices are going to be along the top of the screen rather than down along the side. And the hope is that you'll be able to perform things quicker with less clicks. So you'll be able to get things done faster and get to your movies, get to your TV shows sooner. They're also going to have a better recommendation engine put into the system. So now every choice that you make, everything that you do in Netflix, the computer is going to keep track of and over time do a better profile of what kind of a user you are in terms of what searches you perform, what trailers you watch, what movies you like, which ones you don't. It will then be able to, when you log in and you see your menu screen pop up, it'll do a better job of recommending TV shows and movies based off of your interests. The big thing that I find that's most impressive is that they're actually going to introduce a new conversational AI for performing searches.
Ooh.
So now when you search for a movie or a TV show, you can ask the kind of questions that you might ask a human being. If you walked into a video rental store, you can come in and you can say, hey, you know what, I'm looking for a scary movie, but not too scary. Or you can come in and say, you know what, I just am tired. I really need a good cry. Or I want a movie that's about bicycles.
In my case, like Chris, it would be, I have a small but significant obsession to, I call them the thes. It's all the early 90s, mid to mid 90s thrillers like The Hunt for Red October, The Pelican Brief, anything that is a thriller in the 90s with a the in it. I want that. I want that in my feed. Very specific.
Exactly.
Yes.
So they're saying they've built up enough metadata about all the TV shows and movies in their library that you can ask exactly that question. You can say, I want thrillers that'll have the in the title.
It was a 90s thing, Chris. I didn't invent this. This was not a fever dream.
Totally. No. There's no judgment involved.
Yeah.
In fact, that's why they've made this system. And I love the fact that they've come up with that. Now, it's rolling out. So there is no specific date in which this major change happens. It's starting now, but some people won't notice it until, say, a couple of days from now. Other people, it could be weeks from now. Some, it might even be months before the change actually happens.
Interesting.
So, yes, that's kind of the bad news.
Okay, so it's interesting. That's a very strange rollout that it's not all in one shot, but we'll see when we get it. Okay, we have to talk about this. So Walt Disney is going to be brought back as a robot. Now, I have watched every single Simpsons episode where they talk about the fact that he's, a frozen head somewhere. What are we discussing? What are we talking about?
Okay, so at Disneyland in California, if you've been there for decades now, there is a small section or presentation ride called the Hall of Presidents. And when you get in, there's an actual audio animatronic figure of Abraham Lincoln. It's been there for many years. He gives his speech. It's meant to be among the characters at Disneyland, one of the more realistic ones that are available. Well, they've decided that it's time to give, Abraham Lincoln a bit of a pause, a break, and instead they're going to introduce Walt Disney himself. But instead of the old traditional audio animatronic technology, they have come up with a brand new robotic technology. This is a humanoid robot. Disney says it will be their most lifelike figure that they've ever created. And it's of their founder, Walt Disney. When you go in, you're going to have a presentation that he does that's 17 minutes long, but they are insisting that you are not going to be able to tell that it's a robot.
What?
When you walk in, you're going to feel as if it's the living man, Walt Disney himself, and then when you leave, you will feel as if you met Walt Disney.
That's wild. That is really cool, but also a little creepy. Okay.
Yeah.
So what, is that already happening or it's about to happen? Or, sorry, I didn't catch that part. It's
No problem.
Okay.
It's launching in July. And right now, they've been showing it off just because they want to feel out what kind of an issue is. There's been a huge debate as to whether this is something Walt Disney himself would approve. And some people are sort of saying that he somewhere is on record saying he would never want to be turned into a robot. Other people are pointing out that he thought it was respectful for Abraham Lincoln because he was involved in creating that particular exhibit. Why would he not think it's respectful to himself? So there's a big debate going on about it. But either way, it's going to launch in July. We'll see. Just, whether it's magical, which is what they're calling it, Disney a magical life, or whether it's going to be Disney a creepy life.
Okay. And finally, Chris Abel, we are heading over to England with a real-life Pac-Man.
Yes, so this is a huge arcade experience that's opened up in Manchester, England. If it's successful, hopefully it will come to Canada. And you and your friends walk into this large, huge, open sort of arena area, and you're each handed a vibrating vest that's got a huge animation screen on it. And so on the floor of this big, huge arena is a Pac-Man maze that's projected on there, as well as pellets along the floor. Each of you wearing a vest have now become a Pac person. And so the idea is a host brings you in, guides you through the game. When they start it up, you all run through the mazes trying to eat and gobble pellets and get the most points. Of course, there are other competitors that come in. They've got vests on that are ghosts. So as you run around, you have to eat the pellets, avoid the ghosts, and of course get the super pellets to turn the ghosts, the monsters into ghosts and then go after them. This is really cool. They say this is we've seen a lot of arcade experiences that are all based on virtual reality lately. And what they wanted to do was they wanted to come up with one that was very familiar. You've got Pac-Man, but one where you didn't have to wear a headset. This is all augmented reality. So you're seeing the game projected onto the floor and you're feeling it with vests that vibrate and play sounds and animations in response to the action that's happening. And because of that, they say this is going to be one of the most accessible arcade experiences out there, that it's for all ages, very young as well as very elderly, and anyone who's come in that's got mobility issues, you should be able to play as well.
That sounds, excuse me, Chris, like the coolest thing. The Pac-Man, oh my God, sign me up. Chris, remind everyone where they can find you.
You can find me on my socials at Real Chris Abel, KrisAbel, as well as go to my website, chrisabel.com.
Chris Abel, thank you so much for taking the time. We'll chat again very soon.
All right, take care.